What's up, y'all? It's Tuesday. I hope everybody out there is doing fantastic. So let's go ahead and get down. And I want to talk about the passing of Clive Davis. For those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody is almost privy to this information that Clive Davis passed away at the age of 94 yesterday at his Manhattan apartment or home. And they're saying that he just passed away due to age-related issues. Now, he was hospitalized back in May due to some respiratory illness complications, but we don't know if that's the main factor for his passing. The family just said it had to do with age-related issues. So over the years, we've talked about Clive Davis and how evil he has been and how he has done women specifically within the music business, from Whitney Houston, Phyllis Hyman, Janis Joplin. The list goes on and on. TLC. Clive also tormented the hell out of Luther Vandross. A lot of people don't like to talk about that, but Luther was under a lot of pressure dealing with Clive, and Barry White tried to warn Luther about the situation, but Luther didn't want to take his advice at the time. I guess Luther was just focused on his own stardom, but he went through some things behind the scenes with Clive Davis as well. We know that Diddy was mentored by Clive Davis, and now, of course, after Clive passes away, my connections within the R&B realm, they're concluding that one of the reasons why Diddy homes was raided during that time was based off of the fact that Diddy threatened to blackmail the entire music industry. And there's supposedly tapes and things with Clive Davis on it, other music mogul honchos that are included on those videotapes doing the most. And they were looking to uncover and recover that particular footage and things of that nature, right? Hence the fact that when Clive was asked about Diddy's situation, he was quiet as hell.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
Like puppy. The status of puppy. Yeah.
What do you make of that situation? Mr. Davis, you were a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? Yes. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis? Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
Now, Clive knows that he heard that man question him about Diddy the first time. He just decided to play that old and senile game and decided to get quiet. Now, there's another question that's being asked all over social media since the passing of Clive, and it has to do with the note that Whitney actually gave to Brandy during that interview that Clive was having with Brandy and Monica.
Side by side with such a great talent in.
It's for you. 12 today. I have to. I'm just saying love it because I love it.
So almost everyone has been wondering for years, what did that note say that she actually passed to Brandy? Since Clive has passed away, you can see people all over social media saying that he's passed away now. Brandy should come forward and tell us what was on that note. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but when it comes to her disclosing what was on that note, I feel that
you're never gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it.
Because I just feel that the respect that she has for Whitney Houston will not allow her to actually expose that information. That's how I personally feel. Maybe she has that type of respect and loyalty to Clive Davis as well. If she did come out and talk about what was on that note, God forbid, it'd probably be on her deathbed, to be honest. But I don't see Brandy talking about this situation anytime soon. Now, do you guys remember when Wendy Williams actually sat in her purple chair on her show and grilled Clive Davis about going on with the party the same night that Whitney passed away? Also, Shaka Khan had something to say about that as well. Check out these clips and I'll be back.
Now, I've made it no secret that I just thought it was in poor taste for you to continue with the pre-Grammy party when Whitney's body was still upstairs in the hotel room. Remember, Whitney passed away the same day as Clive, your annual party. Why did you go on and have the party? Just asking.
Well, you're a very small minority, because if you knew Whitney better, you knew she was not there to perform.
Yeah.
This was her favorite night of the year. She came out every year. This party was so part of her.
So you're saying that she
so
would've-
that the family, we spoke to representatives of Pat, who was a manager, and Gary, who was her brother.
Her body was still upstairs.
But we dedicated the evening. Whitney would have wanted this party to go on any more than the Grammys should stop. There was a packed house paying tribute. Alicia performed, Tony Bennett, Diana Krall, the Kinks had flown in from Europe, Elvis Costello, Jackson Brown, Diana Ross, Jamie Foxx. Everybody celebrated the life, the memory. That was appropriate, so I beg to differ with you.
Well, we agree to disagree.
Thing. But the Grammys were the next night. You don't cancel. You turn an evening into a tribute.
You did a magnificent evening.
Into...
Did you give a thought to canceling?
Never.
You never thought?
Never.
Did you ever think...
And the family did not want me to give a thought.
Didn't?
No.
Knowing Whitney, I don't believe that she would have said, the show must go on. She was the kind of woman that would say, stop everything. I'm not going to be there. You know. I don't know what could motivate a person to have a party in a building where the person whose life he had influenced so enormously and whose life had been affected by her. So they were like, I don't understand how that party went.
I had Clive Davis by pure chance in here on Friday night.
The way that Chaka Khan looked at the end of that video clip was just so sad. She looked so distraught, placing her head in her hand, just leaned over and things of that nature, just in disbelief like all of us were. You know, that Clive Davis would actually carry on with this party. And honestly, I wonder what Wendy Williams would be saying right now if she was still sitting in that purple chair in her right mind, because I'm pretty sure she would have a lot to say. And shout out to Wendy for standing 10 toes down when she brought up that ignorant move that Clive made by going on with the party. She said, yo, at the end, we can agree to disagree. And this is coming from a woman where Whitney called up to the radio station and really drug her. You know what I'm saying? But that was Wendy Williams. That was her style. There will be no other like her. Now, this is just in, right? So while I'm doing this video, I get this pop-up from TMZ that truly highlights what a puppet Oprah is. So Oprah is coming out, right? A couple of days removed from the passing of Clive Davis. How ironic, right? And she's stating that Whitney Houston fell on her stage while she was high, and she kept it a secret because she didn't want to ruin her life. Oprah says that she has the pictures and things of that nature to prove that Whitney fell off the stage actually, but she begged the crowd that was in the audience, of course, not to tell anyone because this could ruin her career. So Oprah says that she felt like she did a good deed here because if she had released those pictures, it would have definitely rocked Whitney's world in the wrong way. Now, Oprah revealed this information at France's Lumiere Theater. I think that's how you pronounce that word, Lumiere. But anyway, she was there to receive a Lionheart Award, and this is where she disclosed that Whitney had definitely relapsed and fell off her stage, and that she has the pictures to prove it. And my question is, why now? Why now? You know what I'm saying? It's pretty obvious that, you know, a lot of people are talking about Clive Davis and the effect that he had on so many women, the negative effect that he had on so many women within the music industry. And most notably, Whitney is going to be put to the forefront. Although all of the women matter, a lot of people are going to put Whitney to the forefront, and here you go disclosing this information. I mean, if you're going to say that these images will never ever see the light of day, I don't understand why would you bring that up in this moment of time. It just seems that there is an agenda there, in my honest opinion. Now, let's try to move on from this stupidity, right? So you guys remember that interview where Fantasia was asked about Clive Davis and she looked into the camera awkwardly?
Interview with Clive Davis, and one of the questions that I asked him was, what do you do after seeing Janis Joplin, after seeing Whitney Houston, working with Alicia Keys and all of these young artists coming in at a young age? What do you do to prepare them for what they're about to embark upon. And his answer was that he doesn't get involved in the personal lives of artists. What do you wish someone would?
The way Fantasia clutched her throat and looked into the camera lets me know that that's a lie. Clive Davis is all in your business. And I really think in that moment that Fantasia chose to choose her words wisely, or else she would have been getting a call. Now, say what you want to say about Milli Vanilli, the way that Clive threw those brothers to the wolves once everybody found out that they weren't singing their songs was just brutal. Clive knew the whole time that they weren't singing their songs, but because they were generating millions of dollars, he didn't really care. But once everybody found out what the truth was, he detached himself from the situation and left them out there to hang and dry. Check out these clips and I'll be back.
His group made over like $200 million.
Oh, way over
300 million?
400.
So out of the 400 million, how much did they give you?
Nothing, man. And to this day, nothing. Because my image is being used.
Still.
To this day, I don't get nothing.
And the label turned on him and exposed them.
He went to the press in New York and said, they didn't sing. And when he did that, nobody wanted to touch us. It's too hot. We got blacklisted. At the helm of this company, you know, there was a man. Anyone in the industry has worked for this man at some point.
Who?
I won't say his name.
It's not Clive Davis, is it?
Sounds like it.
You were receiving the Grammy the night that you went before the camera where your own integrity said,
Oh, Mike. It was like, I will describe it like this. You get something, but for that you make a pact with the devil. It was. Did the record company know all along? Clive Davis knew. Mr. Clive Davis knew. He promised us to help to persuade Frank to sing on the record. He promised us. He gave us the word. And you see what he did now.
People didn't come down on Arista and Clive in the way that you would think. There was plausible deniability, I think, for Arista anyway. I mean, it was easy for them to say we didn't know, and nobody could prove that they knew it, so they got off the hook.
We had no inkling. I want to make it there was no one that knew at our record company in America.
I just know personally that we knew before the Grammy, so there was no question about it.
But like 6 months before?
Yeah, maybe 6 months before. Why didn't anybody from the label speak out? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
I have to answer truthfully, and I would have to say that I believe that Clive felt that this not only wasn't good for Arista, but wasn't really good for his reputation.
Just evil, dirty, and dark. You see, what Clive did here is use those guys for their aesthetics, right? And basically made so much money off of them, millions upon millions of dollars, and then threw them out in the trash when it was discovered that they weren't actually singing those songs. That is just horrible, horrific on all levels. But anyway, what I want to do right here is play you a clip, right? A soundbite of Phyllis Hyman talking about how she moved in the industry and what she had to say about Clive. And also, it's been exposed that Clive had a secret meeting at his LA home that would change hip hop forever. I want you guys to check out these two clips. They're going to run concurrent with one another, and then I'll be back to close the video.
Because I was so terrorized by him. Whether he meant to do it or not, I'll never know. But he sure taught me that if you try to terrorize me again, well, we can't say that on public radio. What I may do to someone who tries to hurt me again in this business, I'm not having it. I should be respected as I respect, and I will not have someone try to ruin my spirit and ruin my career. If Clive Davis, if his plan was to destroy my career, it didn't work. Stereotypes from days past, and I remember when I first got in the business, all of the managers, the big guys came around, and I took my time. I was not in a hurry to do anything, and they were very peeved by that attitude. They knew I wasn't being conceited, but it's just that I wasn't in any hurry. I was making a decent living doing nightclubs. I just didn't understand what management meant, and I don't like to sign contracts. I knew enough from working as a secretary in legal services that once you put your name on that piece of paper, you are bound and gagged, and I don't like that.
In that 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of Clive Davis, who was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston, I said it. His days are numbered. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home of Clive Davis, along with members of the CIA, FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was there, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States was at that meeting in the mansion of Clive Davis. And they were telling these rappers, you need to create songs talking about killing police, calling black women bees and hoes. You need to get more nasty so we can fill our prisons that we're building.
Now, Clive has been on record stating that he doesn't like rap, nor does he understand rap. But what he does is drive the machine to further push that type of music on our younger generation to corrupt us, to put us in prisons, right? To put us at disadvantages and things of that nature. And it's been out there that there was a meeting that was held at Clive Davis' house about how to change the music industry for the worse. Now listen, it was already getting rough and rugged before 1995, but at the end of the day, Clive Davis wanted to put the cherry on top to railroad the black youth. Just keeping it all the way 100. Now, I will say that that portion is not all on Clive Davis, because the artists, they need to hold some culpability in all of this as well, because they don't have to agree to sign on the dotted line to push out this type of music. But we all know that money is the root of all evil. And even though if these artists don't like pushing out that type of music, right, at the end of the day, all they see is dollar signs. And that's what matters at the end of the day. So I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and leave your thoughts. Other than that, have a beautiful day.